but it's about time to get this game going. Miles and Chance, how's it going, fellas?
Oh, fantastic. Very, very well. Beautiful desk. Thank you for that stunning introduction to today's games. Chance, you ready to party, brother?
Oh, dude, always ready to party. We got the salty run back series on our hands.
We do, yeah. This is going to be a fun one. And again, for both teams, Brycey did a really good job of touching upon this yesterday, but we're getting towards the sort of part of the season where not everyone's going to make it to champs. It's getting real ugly. But ladies and gentlemen, without wasting any further ado, let's get into this one. Off to the races we go, into the cage. Map number 1, New York Subliners, Paris Legion, off to the races.
And just to address your point that Brycey brought up, these are the teams that are at the bottom of the standings. I think Subliners have 50 CDL points and Paris only have 20. And both of them actually performed pretty well at the Pro-Am. Obviously, Subliners, especially because they won the damn thing, but there's still a decent ways to go to try to crack into that top 8. So obviously, incredibly important series for both of these teams. That being said, just to touch on the actual salty run back portion of it, when these guys match up at the Pro-Am, Subliners beat them 3-0. The 3 maps they beat them on are the first 3 maps of this series. So truly running it back, Paris didn't want to make any adjustments. And I mean, hey, they wanted to try them on the Bocage. Last time they technically did outslay them, but they lost by 77.
It's a perfect dirty run back, and so far, not a whole lot in the scoreboard. After the first hard point comes to a close, it's Paris with a slim lead. Rotation's already down. It is going to be Paris in there. For those wondering, the yellow icons on the minimap, that is going to be the New York Subliners. And again, all Paris Legion so far. Great start. Temp's doing a bit of a roundabout run here. That's a 5 spree he's currently working on. Cooking up something special in Grannies, makes it a 6. Can he get any more? Temp is frying.
This is guaranteed. Oh, we got the worst COD timing. I was going to say it was going to be guaranteed, but instead it is incredibly unfortunate. And what would have been one of the most distantly pushed out P2s that could have been in Money Hill, where Paris just sort of dropped the ball a little bit, go 4 down and get flipped. So I would say definitely a pretty big missed opportunity there, as funnily enough, all that success you have early on, well, and why? They're going to take the lead.
Yeah, they take the lead. The spawn flip goes out. They manage to make the most of it. It's almost the lead change. There we go. Kismet into the point. A nice multi-kill out of Jimbo to get closer there, but Kismet and Co will find the time. Will change the lead hands now, and over towards bottom Grannies we go. Paris with that rotation down already, but they haven't got all the angles covered. Backside should be sweet. Kismet can't get anything going through the front. Time's now ticking over, and Hydra performing true treason on his Parisian comrades. He finds a couple. Forward you go for New York.
Well, I was going to say at the very least for Paris, maybe an opportunity for the early rotation, and they just win any and every gunfight inside and around the hard point. This has been a truly a Bocage game as Hydra setting up for the spawn kills, but we had a moment just on the P2 where we saw Jimbo get a 4-piece, killed every single one of them, and they still did not get the hill. And then the rotation pairs get here first, but unable to collect any of this time at all. And now Kismet's lighting up the feed as well. Right now, Paris, honestly, just fighting tooth and nail, not to get hill time, but just to get out past these tanks.
That's it. They can't even get out past the tanks. Kismet on the 4, looking to make it a 5. John's with the opening tags, going to suppress him, and that's going to give you a bit of space to work with now for Paris. Nah, Kiz, though, nice work. The 5th kill comes through. No streaks to be had, but you managed to do a beautiful job there from the Subliners of keeping Paris locked on that right-hand side of the map. That is the rotation done. Hard point once again in the hands of the Subliners. Bottom barn all theirs. No problem whatsoever for New York Subliners here in the first map. They're starting to get going.
And very comfortable on their setup on rotation as well. You had players pushed out to the God tank over towards gate and in Grandma's, and granted Paris started making moves to actually try to break this hill, but 20 seconds have already gone by that the Subliners have collected. Now it's about the contest, which does not last, and you get bullied out once again. I am already at the point where I'm questioning the decision with this roster. Subliners are undefeated on Bocage. They were lights out at the Pro-Am, and well, it looks like for the moment today is no different.
I think statistically, Paris Legion typically outslay New York Subliners on this map, but for now, it ain't working out, friends. The clock ticking, and not in favor of Paris. Hard point still in the hands of the Subliners now, and it's Hydra onto the point. The slide comes through in the end. It's all kills from John, but the rest of his teammates are there. The teamwork so far, sublime out of the Subliners. Locking this down all good. Over to River we go. Gravity first man in. Set up now for Paris Legion, but as we've seen, it's all good in the breaks department from New York.
Oh, Kismet's actually causing problems, right? He gets 1 kill down low, and now Jimbo is just spending all this time trying to hunt him down. And hey, eventually he connects and picks up a big 2. So maybe this will be the full 60 Paris having their cards to try to claw away at this lead that New York have built up. But now, as far as those roaming slayers go, things are getting chaotic. You don't have that street control, so John is having to look every which way. Now, Jimbo in the feed is still picking up kills, and John wins the gunfight inside of the hill, and hey, boom, there you go. Nice 4 down. Pair's still alive, collecting all of this time.
That's a nice hold so far. Crim's going to find a kill or two up the front. You're still going to fight for this time. There's 15 seconds to be had. Hydra's going to be the man over the top. John, eyes are on, though. Great covering fire once again. Doesn't account for Kismet. Slips on through, slips the net, gets into the point, grabs that time. Good stuff out of the Subliners' last-minute break, just to shave a few extra seconds away from the pile the Paris Legion were accumulating there. So good stuff there as the first set of rotations now comes to a close. Second set's up now, and we go back to the middle of the map.
And I'd say what the biggest theme of this game was you had pairs with opportunities at the P2 hill where they could have had a full 60. That gets broken down, and from that moment on, they had no success until P5. So I would say that's maybe the biggest point of concern of actually trying to lock down P2 and just making sure you never get that 4-man wipe sort of moment. They've got a decent push out so far, at least towards P2, which they're never going to get these spawns, but at the very least, you can collect at least a little bit of time on this first hill. So they're certainly working on the comeback.
This is nice. Again, coming out of Paris Legion, the Gravity can keep the spree going. We can. That's going to be 5 now. Is streaks a possibility? This could help out a lot here on the map. Stunned up. Hydra's trying to find the kill here. Teamwork's working through. There's number 6 now. That's the first. Can't get any more. We're not going to see the glide bomb come through. Shame, shame, shame indeed. But the Subliners keeping that hard point time going their way. Paris, the kills starting to heat things up a little bit. Is this the moment, chance, where they can manage to pull a comeback?
Well, right now they're just worried about the actual map pressure portion of the game, right? Temp finally able to get towards Barn, and this is where you can get the players at least off the hill for your first set of gunfights, or maybe not. Temp now just going to get hunted down. Hydra is there, and Subliners still keeping the distance. Gonna have to try to fly through field, and hey, maybe the grenade connects, and hey, John to pick up 3 in the feed, and that's the type of break you need. The 4 down they had to get for these final 30 seconds. You can keep this pressure on. Again, you got the right side of the map for the moment. The opportunity's still there.
Jimbo unable to land their shots at range. That's going to be the hard point break there. Subliners now in control. Oh no! Hydra breaks through the backside of Granny's now, and you've got control for Paris Legion over towards next, but that's a lot of time they've had to sacrifice on P2 there. All going the way of the Subliners. Top side now being broken from Kismet. My word, they're already in. He's going to lock this down as well. John got to win the fight, but he manages to keep Kismet at bay. That's good for now for Paris. New York setting up for the entry now onto Grand Mars.
I mean, they're just going to get this, though, right? If you ever get top control, holding this hill is basically going to be impossible. Kismet can take his time and wait for his teammates. And right now, Paris might end up in the spawn trap again. York actually get those back spawns. So while Legion won't be stuck in the spawn, well, they never had top control. So Kismet can just be the roaming slayer, plays it perfectly, and gets the final kill. So the wipe is in, more than 100-point lead. And Subliners at this point just doing the victory lap. This game almost assuredly is going to go their way.
Has to go their way, bar anything wild, but don't count Paris Legion out of it. We've seen them make big numerical comebacks here on hardpoint in the cage, but this is going to be, hey man, they don't win the games, but they do pull the scoreline back, I tell you that much. 15 seconds remaining here on the backside of Barn. It's going to be Paris still holding on this one. Sorry, on Granny's as we go towards Barn. There's Gravity taking clean care of. The map's all Paris Legions for now, but the kills are all the Subliners. Temps in, can't find the second. Rotation's already down, and a sneaky Paulehx has managed to slip through the map. And there he is, a bloody nuisance, takes care of 1. Now into the point he goes, 3 spree in his hands.
Yeah, and you talk about being a nuisance, right? Kismet was the guy the hill before that just had like the top Grandma's control. This is the time where you want to get towards the back and flip those spawns, and Paulehx took his turn to be that guy. So Subliners always have someone in position, always making the smart plays, even on this map, and obviously that has resulted in a very casual 100-point lead. I mean, Subliners, again, perfect at the Pro-Am. This team certainly has the sauce when it comes to Bocage, and right now, hey, maybe it's contest time, but a couple kills go their way, and they could end it on Barner. Hey, maybe not able to get forced to the next hill, and we'll see how River goes. That is where Paris had their most success.
This is what I'm talking about, man. Paris love to mount a massive comeback right when the going gets tough. When their backs are against the wall, they play the best card they will in the series. And this is it, a 6 spree for Jimbo. Rotations down for the Subliners. All 4 players now lined up across that new hard point. A couple looking out towards next. And that's going to be a big win from Jimbo. That is now full streaks to be had. Here comes the glide right off the rip. Fresh out the oven and straight into the fray it goes. It's going to make that hard point wide open. Anyone there to get it? Nice shot right through the window on a Crim. Here comes his teammate Sir from the other side of the map. You've got 1 or 2 kills to be had. Can they mount some sort of break here on River?
Well, these are the hills where Subliners actually ran the show. I think he was kind of even across the board for the first three, but on average, P4 and P5, Subliners just ran away with it at the Pro-Am. And I know it wasn't great the first go around, but this time they had the spawns, but they do get broken for the moment. Good news is you have L control. If Hydra's nearby, it is impossible for players to get nearby. And with these kills coming through, I'm assuming this will actually get forced to P1, but it is too big of a lead, too little, too late from Paris. And Subliners honestly just doing their nice little victory lap, getting ready for map 2.
There it is, map 2 beckons. You got to hold this down. Paris has been pushed out to the furthest reaches of the map, suffocated here on Bocage. The final second ticks through on the point, the final into the scoreline. 250 being the mark they needed, and the Subliners got it with aplomb. Honestly, mate, could have closed that game out a little sooner, bar that wicked hit from Barn that came out of Paris. So good on them for getting the job done. But alas, ladies and gentlemen, New York Subliners take map 1.
It is worth noting, right? Because I know we briefly touched upon it, might have been a key to victory as well. When these guys played this map at the Pro-Am, Paris actually did outslay, granted by 4 kills, so it was very close to being even, but they lost by 77. This time, still close in the slaying. Subliners, I think, only outslayed by 4 or 5 kills, but more than 100-point victory. It seems like New York is a team that has not let the Bocage brain infect them. And again, doing a lot of the little things right. When you're going to the Grandma's Hill, having top control, one of the most important things to have. We see Kismet in those situations on the rotation over towards Barn. You do, at least at the start of the hill, want the back spawns or someone to be a nuisance. Paulehx was that guy. New York Subliners, even on this map, doing all the little things right, which obviously adds up to a pretty dominant win.
Honestly, it's also great to see, genuine improvement, tangible improvements to the game there from New York Subliners. We saw them play them at the Pro-Am, definitely not a scoreline like that, and keeping Paris under the 100-point mark for a very, very long portion of time. If not for the streaks, if not for the great individual runs, definitely wouldn't have happened. So kudos to the New York Subliners, starting to certainly get a firm grasp of Bocage, and again, ever since Kismet joined the roster, it has been successful, has to be said. So good stuff out of them there in map number 1. Map number 2 is on its way in just a moment. Search and destroy. As we look across the highlights charts, a lot of sweet kills from New York Subliners.
And as far as the salty run back goes, when we go into the Berlin S&D, much closer game between these two teams last time. It did go all the way to around 11. So I'd say Paris, obviously the opportunity to have some life is there, but at the same time, maybe that's sort of been their story. Like, since they've picked up guys like Jimbo and Gravity, they've certainly had more life as a complete roster. I think in every single game mode, they are 4-6 in their last 10, which isn't great, but it's also not bad. It's not like they have like a striking weakness as a team, but despite the life, they never quite are able to close out. So we'll see if they can make these improvements on Berlin. Obviously, they were prepared for the map, but that remains to be seen. We can take a look at the highlight reel. Again, in the slang, it was close between the two teams. So talent for talent, not the greatest disparity, but as far as the teamwork goes, I certainly know where my attention is.
Berlin, Search and Destroy now coming up next. The Search and Destroy, the second map here in the series for the New York Subliners. Again, here, don't forget Bounty Week as well. There's 10 grand on the match here. So not only are we playing for the very, very important CDL points that both these teams really badly, really badly need going towards the rest of the season, and then make again that long road to champs. 10 full 1,000 clams up for grabs as well. So we'll see though. But chance now, Berlin, Search and Destroy, you touched on it. Subliners all good right now, mostly fine. Paris can't close out. Is that going to be the case here today?
It will be interesting. I would say what we saw from the pick and bans is Paris did not make adjustments, right? It is the same first 3 maps where they got 3-0'd by New York at the Pro-Am. So they didn't make adjustments in the pick and bans. They need to make adjustments, though, in the Search and Destroy. Again, just to touch on the keys to victory, they were what? On the attacking rounds, 2-9 when they go towards A, 12-9 when they go anywhere else. So solid when they play a neutral setup, play for picks, or when they just straight up go to B. But when they go to A, again, 2-9 is, about as poor as it gets. So we'll see if they make the adjustments of either switching up their style of attack on the actual A site or just ignoring it completely and sort of playing to their strength. So if you don't make adjustments in the pick and bans, got to make the adjustments in game.
I would assume that is, the reasoning behind it. Coach Theory doing his thing to make sure that the boys are as loaded as they possibly can be going up against an opponent like the Subliners. They've had a bit of a sort of a rivalry across the last couple of weeks of play, and we'll see if they keep it going here. But there we go. New York Subliners, all smiles and in the New York camp as Paulehx enjoying himself. Certainly, he has found tremendous success since joining the roster alongside the French phenom Hydra and of course Kismet, the latest addition to the roster, who has honestly been performing fantastically. Seems to be the sign of life that the team needed. The New York Subliners will take a quick look at their game fuel keys to victory, and they are loving it right now. Chance, it's Paul, 1.22 in the S&D so far, 3rd overall. Keep it up, son. You're looking good.
And he might need to be the guy to maybe just stay consistent, but certainly be out on top, because Subliners, it's not like they are poor at search and destroy, but 4 and 6 in their last 10. It's probably overall their biggest, weakest point for the team. So that is where I think they need to turn their greatest deal of attention to, because obviously it seems like they have hardpoint just completely figured out. So start chaining together these game modes and start going up 2-0 in the series. I mean, hey, they've already won the Pro-Am. See if they can pick things up a little bit more, and if the S&D woes weren't obvious enough, obviously this is over the course of the entire year, not just with this roster, but it is clear that New York has struggled.
I think that's a very fair way of putting it. Last across the board there in the statistics when it comes to search and destroy, but recent form has to be taken into account. So here we go into Berlin. Paris will be running the bomb first. 2 bomb sites, 1 on the cross. So Temp now has passed on the information to his teammates. They're still going to commit this push towards B. The defenders now for the New York Subliners all over that bomb site like a rash. Let's see what Paris have got.
They're playing aggressive on this. Hydra is going to be prepared, but that just means the trades are in. Crim actually finds 2, and all of a sudden everybody dies because Crim and Kismet chop them all down. They know exactly where Temp is, and they're going to know for a fact they have the bomb down. I mean, good news for Temp. He has plenty of time to work with, but bad news is it was 1v2. That might be a freebie out in front of him. There you go for the 1v1, and still a minute on the clock, and now he even knows where Paulehx is. This is feasible.
This is a straight up 1v1. Nades up, tags him. Temp's put himself in a great spot here to maybe get 3 on the round and potentially win the whole damn thing. He's got the chase on. Paul has to dip on out. Not exactly equipped for the fight. He's got nothing left in the pockets. I don't believe Temp has either. Less than now, 30 seconds on the clock. We're going to see that bomb be recovered. Eyes on that minimap. And Paul's on the other side of town. He's watching the A bomb site. Temp's got the one towards B. Plays this one fast. This could be it. Oh no! Come on! Paul plays it long. Gets the kill on the player on the bomb site, and poor Temp. Man, that'd have been a great round to start things off.
And I was going to say, I was a little bit surprised, both for the fact that Kismet was playing aggressive, even though they should have known that they had bombed down, and then even Paulehx in the 1v1. I was thinking back all the way up behind P3 and just watch the full cross towards B, because you should know you have bombed down, but instead he plays over towards the A site, but doesn't make a difference in the end, as the kill basically just falls into his lap. And either way, nice round. I suppose if you have the research that a team is not having success attacking A, you can expect the B hits, and well, Crim and New York Subliners, they triple stack it. Close out the first round on defense, and now making moves on the attack. And you are hunting him down. Paulehx already a 4v2 as they get the first bloods.
Truly lethal. Paulehx makes his way straight onto the point, finds the kill. Kismet out with the plant. You've got overwhelming numbers now for the New York Subliners on the bomb site. Temp from the outside here, top fire. Amongst that plush Corinthian leather couch. Armchair, my apologies. He's got himself a sweet spot to sit, but he has to help his team get back on towards this bomb. It's a 2v4 on the retake.
And just good luck with this, right? Even if John finds the first pick on Kismet, which, hey, he checks the corner, but doesn't win the gunfight. I was going to say the trades are just going to be very close in order, and Crimsix is going to be there to shut it down. And that is honestly back-to-back rounds, both on the attack and defense, where Subliners not really showing a ton of respect to their opponent, right? Just flying at them as aggressive as they want to be. And at least they're in the attacking round, making it look pretty clean and pretty easy. The 2-0 lead that New York were looking to get.
I mean, whether it's a lack of respect or whether it's just, fantastic homework being done by myself, they just know what the game plan is for Paris, and they're hitting them hard every time. 2 rounds now on the trot. Overwhelm at A, take care of business at B, and it looks to be the same thing once again here. Paris going against the numbers now, making their way in towards the A-bomb site. It's a 3v3 square up, but Gravity's just made that a nice one for him. First blood goes his way. On the outside now, we're going to see Kismet try to catch a player or two. And Paris, they're not quite taking the bait just yet. I don't think that stun connected, so Kismet stays unseen. Oh, lordy. Dude, with a bomb.
Yeah,
Still in
these
the hands of
perspective shifts are their best movie too. We're watching Hydra get the kills. Like that was a trip and a half, but whatever might happen, Temp, who actually gets a trade, he does that from over warehouse, and Crim eventually goes and hunts him down. So this is just a nice snipe and a couple of nice adjustments coming out of New York, and now they sort of flip the map on its head. You try to plant from downrange, there you go. You get shot from A long, and Subliners, even when they get blooded, find a way to win the round. And a nice shot from Hydra, certainly even up the odds, but good adjustments from the boys. I think Crim, again, not only with the final kill, but able to hunt down Temp as well. As soon as Temp gives away his position, and I mean, hey, that's 3 in a row. Whether it's the not disrespectful, but aggressive first 2 rounds or adjustments that were necessary, Subliners picking them apart.
It's a clean 3 in a row now. Subliners on attack. Crim's on a 3 spree. It's in a 5-1 overall here on the map. We'll see if he can keep that one going. No one's going to be home here on the B-bomb site. John with that snipe down range. The old world champs at MVP. Gets to find a kill here on Berlin. He might catch a couple here. The timing is so unfortunate. As the members now of the Subliners flooding in their way towards the B-bomb site, catches at least one on the cross. John, that information passed out. Will he be able to tag a couple before they make their way on the bomb site? That's the plant. Here comes the retake.
And John's twisted. I mean, he just like refused to actually hold any sort of pre-aim. And even after they cross, he's over here pre-aiming trucks. And now he's got the sniper, but you don't want the sniper necessarily to be the most aggressive player on the map. So I think they're going to be waiting for the flank to come through as you see the battle at hand.
On Hydra, he's got his sniper up as well. John's on the inside of the site. He misses him. That's massive. Will John re-challenge him now? He will. Oh my lord, they're exchanging blows. Hydra manages to win it, and the clock's still ticking out. Paul, the assassin, now making his way forward, tagged from behind. It's good kills, but the time is never on the side now of the players. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. He gets it. Oh, man alive. That was an essential kill onto Hydra as he manages to re-peak and just take care of Jimbo. A huge round win there. Paris from the cusp. New York make it 4 in a row.
Yeah, Hydra missed every single shot except the one that mattered towards the end, right? I mean, in his sniper battle with John, he just showed off the power of the pre-aim and maybe unfortunate timing. You see Jimbo, actually, I think he was spamming it to crouch the pro just to dodge bullets. So I appreciate the attempt, but eventually Hydra able to get next with what usually is an easy shot to hit. And I mean, hey, Paris, the idea was there. They stormed the site pretty well, but they just simply did not do it quick enough. And obviously the 0-4 stat line right now for John Hurts. By the way, hard counter again. New York are reading them like a book. It's a triple stack over towards B. On the defensive end, they're ready for it. Admittedly, maybe too aggressive in there. The picks at least come through, but at least sort of on the idea front, Subliners are very ready for this game.
Their homework has been very much well done. It's now a 3v1. Paul, let's see what you got. He's been looking good so far in the series. 2-2 here on the search, but he could change that in a big way as he's now ascended his way to the top side of the map, trying to catch a single player out on the cross. No one's been seen just yet. Bomb's going his way towards A. Dead silence activated. The man is going to be... Oh, no, it's not actually. He's making a lot of noise here. Forward he goes. Finds 1-2. No, my God. What a snapperooski, man. He hit that head. Couldn't quite finish the kill. If he nails that kill, man alive, that round would have been different. Temp with... Man, what a gunfight that was to win.
Yeah, dude, that is lightning fast reaction time from Temp. And I know the Paulehx stopped shooting in that moment, and that's what costed him. But I mean, I don't know how many players would win that gunfight in the situation, even when the guy stopped shooting. That is incredible work from Temp just to give his team a round, because they nearly dropped the ball. Also, I'm with you. I'm surprised they didn't hear the door open. But whatever.
Yeah, he made a lot of noise.
They at least get the first round.
I thought he had Deddy popped. I misread that. The little pixels weren't going down, but there you go. Gravity on the 3 spree. Temp for the round winning play. What they got now is there's a bit of a hit towards P2. The B-bomb site will be the target now for the New York Subliners in. Kismet with attacks out. Temp's going to eat it, but laying amongst the rubble now of Berlin. Here comes the counter hit. Nice nade out of Kismet. That's unbelievable. Gravity now and John working their way through the bottom side of this mailroom. Desperately trying to stay alive. The last member's up for Paris Legion as they are surrounded by the Subliners. There's a lot of guns up on them. Crim could go huge here. Bomb's already been planted by A.
And they were sliding around making a bit of noise, so I think Kismet might have heard that, gotten out of dodge, and hey, boom, there's the picks coming through. I think they had a pretty keen idea that those players were in and around P2, so you cover P5, you cover those stairs, you get all the exits, and win that round, and that is just efficient work. The good nades coming through as well. And Subliners, I mean, obviously picking them apart. I'm curious as to how this defensive round is going to go, because every single time on defense, Subliners have 3 players exactly where Paris are taking that bomb. They have hard countered them every single time, even when it did not work. And we'll see if they read right once again. And it looks like that's not the case. They're just going for more of a standard neutral setup.
Wait.
The adjustments, and hey, there's the adjustment you need. Hydra hits the easy one. Crim makes the reads it. Who even shoots back these days? John 007.
Oh,
Ring
no!
the ding-dings out. That was clean and easy.
Oh my word, I don't actually think anyone on Paris fired their weapon in that final round. New York, baby, what a search. The Kings of Berlin right there. You put the sword to them, son. That was an unbelievable round. Starting snipes were all good. Crim with perfect positioning, even better shots. I don't know. I genuinely don't know if anyone from Paris managed to let off a round in that final round. Unbelievable. 2-0 going into GvU2 control.
Yeah, and I mean, if Paulehx doesn't stop shooting Temp, and if Temp doesn't literally just have some of the best reaction time in the league to win a gunfight, that would have been a hot 6-0. That was every single round New York should have won. They did in dominant fashion. And even the round that Paris won, they had the advantage and nearly threw it away. And obviously, I think that is what, maybe the 7th or 8th donut we have seen so far this year. Well, John joins the club.
Welcome to the agency, I think, as the kids put it. 007 sadly there, but great work out of Crim. 8-3, 7-4 for Kismet. Decisive work there for the boys in the York Subliners. 6-1 the final score. A fast one as well, chance. 6 minutes and 16 seconds the total map time. Wow, unreal stuff from everyone there actually on New York Subliners. This has been a delightful series for them, and I know the New York fans across the world are enjoying this one. We now have a double dose of GvU2. Paris, it is time to turn the series around. New York won the coin toss. They're going to keep Paris in this kind of headlock, which could be GvU2 control. Has not been a good map for them all season long. This is it though, Paris. This is not only a massive win that you sorely need for the points in the standings and they're on the champ. Don't forget, friends, bounty week as well. There's 10 grand up on this matchup. And now if New York Subliners close this one out, free dubs, free cash, these kids are trash. We'll find out though if that will be truly the case going into this one. We're going to throw to a very quick commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, it is time to rock and roll into GvU2 control. Last chance now for Paris Legion here in the series. Or will Crim and the boys run the show and make it a swift 3-0 to start the day here in the New York Subliners? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Call of Duty League. We'll be right back. The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Zenni. Armor your eyes with Block's gaming glasses starting at $24 by visiting zenni.com/CDL. The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's time now to get into map number 3 here in our first match of the day. It qualifies now for the Toronto Major upcoming. It's going to be an absolute blast. We've got ourselves New York Subliners, Paris Legion, map number 3, chance of control. Could be the last one out for Paris. They've got to dig deep, mate. Real deep indeed.
Sure, that is a way to say it. I would just look at the series and sort of base it off the Pro-Am. Like the Bocage hardpoint played almost exactly the same. New York did a little bit better. The Berlin S&D, I mean, Paris literally could have just like told them exactly what they were going to do every single round, and it still wouldn't have gone quicker. I mean, New York just had perfect reads the entire time. That was as free as a Berlin S&D is going to get. So obviously New York improved in that category as well. Now we go to a Gavutu control where these teams basically took turns like body slamming each other on their defensive rounds. And then New York, I think, just had an extra like 2 ticks, whatever it was. So they just got the defense for the round 5 and then body slammed them once again. But I would say at least the theme has been the fact that the Subliners have been improving ever so slightly. So maybe we'll see an offensive win. You never know.
You never know. Crazier things have happened so far. Looking at Kismet stat this match as well. A 1.3 just to get things going. Lovely stuff out of him. Over half of his kills not getting traded. Beautiful stuff for Kismet, keeping the squad rolling. Gavutu control though. This could well be the last map we see Paris play today. They have to make the comeback here. If you're a Paris fan, spam this baguette to avoid the regret. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen, into the first round. New York will be on defense.
Hey, look, for Paris, if I remember correctly from the last series we casted, we kept talking about how they were getting body slammed anytime they go over towards A. So at least they're making an adjustment, trying to make a play off the rip, and it is a 4-man stack to this B site. John has ferociously checked every single corner, lower side beach, and you just got to make sure the temp actually watches the flank. He does ring control, and he got pressure on B. Paris, this might actually be it.
Is this the beginning of the body slam now? As Paris, they've got New York in the grip. They've not lifted them over their heads just yet. John, last man on the point. No, Kismet, they wriggle out of the hold. The Paris managed to find themselves in, and now the shoes on the other foot. Over towards the A side of the map we go, both side. Kismet on 3 spree, makes his way right off the B zone, straight now into the A zone. Kills going his way. Crim's already on the flank, looking to take care of those players of Paris coming out this spawn.
And I gotta say, that's tragic as well, because Paris in that moment did everything right, cleared out everything on the beach, temp read the flank, he kept the ring control, but then you even had a guy in point in the tank. You just lost all of those front-facing gunfights, so definitely a missed opportunity there, and certainly clutch gunfight wins from the side of New York, who are right back to potentially the body slam portion of it. You don't actually have the pressure over towards ring. Paulehx does win that gunfight, and Jimbo now with 2 HP on the hill does get traded. So yes, we are right back towards body slam territory as Paris stuck in their spawn.
Yeah, stuck in the spawn. Here we go. Kismet brought down. Good defensive work from Temp there. And again, huge kills on that ring side of the map. That's really the important side when it comes to capturing B. And Temp's right in position once again. Can he take care of these attacking players now making their way out of their spawn? A couple of pokes here or there. Paul's going to reach out this one. Unfortunate timing from Temp. The last bullet, not enough to get the job done. 20 seconds out of work with. Paul stays alive as his rat has been devastating to the Paris Legion ranks all map long. Here we go. Trying to push the spawns out. Final 10. This should be a New York round.
Yeah, and well, not a fun moment. Maybe actually an opening to get some pressure on A and try to get a couple extra ticks, because only having one would not be ideal. Obviously, when you're down to 9 lives, I'm not expecting Paris to win this round, but every tick might actually make a big difference. And that's number 2 that comes through. Hydra, though, wins a big couple of gunfight wins, and there you go. New York clear out the point. That would be a grand total of 2 ticks in a grand total of a great deal of frustration for Paris Legion.
They still made a very admirable attempt towards B right off the rip. Again, John fastidiously checking every single nook, cranny, rock, you name it. Every grain of sand on that beach had his eyes on it, and he cleaned them all out. They managed to get themselves in there for a moment, but not enough. Will New York Subliners be able to do the same thing now, as they're going to now hit the attacking run? Confident as ever, smiles across the faces. They're truly enjoying this series. But here we go. Another round's up. Let's get it.
And they've been playing loosey-goosey as well. I mean, happy to be extra aggressive on defense and very much just trusting themselves to win the gunfight. Subliners feeling good.
Feeling good indeed. Let's go for it, though. With a quick listen in now with the New York Subliners on attack.
Meeting.
Yeah, mid-thing.
Meeting dead.
Hold
Hold John, a bullet. On point. What the fuck? On point, absolute. Dead.
That's one dead. Oh, this guy's probably ring or
I'm getting a point.
Stack.
I'm just in those cages.
I'm low cages right now.
One shot top tower, one shot.
I'm
Jimbo.
gonna get naded.
Going top green.
Yeah,
Can I go
they're
close mid tank? Close junk. I did not
okay,
get
one
the
mid
tech
tank,
yet.
mid tank.
Did not get the tech.
You want the point. He's low hole.
I got one.
You're depleting.
I saw him in tank, one mid tank's done. One on point, one mid tank. I saw him in the middle somewhere.
I don't see him.
He's
Let's
not
go
bunker.
hole,
He's
let's go
not bunker. Me and top boat.
Yo, get towards 8, stack this shit, dude. We have to
Yeah.
stack this shit, get this
I'm
point.
looking top green.
I killed the GB.
Nothing P5.
Yo,
Top green, top green, top green.
fire tank, John. Fire
Yeah,
tank,
yeah,
John.
top green.
Top green
Nice,
weak.
good job.
Top green ran.
Make sure we get this fucking point.
I don't see the
Tom
game.
ran away. He
Let's
ran away.
top tower, top straight
Oh,
tower.
I didn't see him, bro. Top tower.
Fuck.
He's hitting down the
Top
alley, one
green.
jumping out.
Cages, John dead.
Nice, good job. One more
Nice,
time,
top
middle,
mid,
probably.
shot on one
Yeah,
Probably
yeah.
mid.
The green dead.
Nice, yo, finish this cap. Let's get out the play.
Our spawn killed.
Dead.
Nice,
Get
I'm
this
on.
thing,
Yeah,
get this
nice. I'm
I'm
on
trying to watch the
Yo,
cross.
top green.
Oh,
Yo,
I just fucking
S1, ring, dead.
One might be close P5 on you. I think they're gonna keep hitting this shit, no bullshit.
Yeah, maybe.
B. DB dead.
Nice, I'm on
Tower,
top.
tower.
DP.
Cool and confident capture of the A zone chance. Now we go over towards B, the last toke here for Paris in the round. And I must admit, mate, the comms, while a bit naughty, bit fruity language, New York Subliners sounding good.
Yeah, it sounded fine. You know, maybe not the best reads overall, expecting the hit to be coming late, but it's not like it makes any bit of difference. The most important comms are, hey, stack the get thing, just get the ticks. And honestly, now set up pretty well. They have a 7 life advantage, which more importantly, just the fact that Paris is down to 12 is certainly going to be ideal. You have pressure on B. We'll see how good the nades actually are. Attempts from over top, whether or not it connected. The follow-up certainly not there because Paulehx is still live on point. That is a tick on B that is going to come through. Already the tick advantage heftily in New York's favor. But frankly, this might actually shape up to be the offensive win they need.
Oh my word, this could be it. Is it a body slam? No, it's more of a crippler crossface. But they've got themselves out of danger zone for now. Paris Legion saved the second segment of B. Minute 20 still on the clock to play with. New York Subliners a slow hit top side of ring now. There's Jimbo. The advantage now in the numbers. They've got the damage up. He's looking to press the advantage.
And honestly, I mean, for Paris, you just got to make sure you don't die. I mean, take your time with this. If you want to go on the flanks, hey, boom, there you go. You're down to 8 lives, not a ton of time left off, and Jimbo, well, removes it to 7. Temp, well, there goes the next one, now down to 6. With a minute left, and you're down this heftily. I mean, again, right now, play it as slow as you possibly can.
Definitely saw Kismet. Oh my, no. It's the last 3 members of Paris Legion now on defense. Paul's trying to make his way forward. Stuns. Dips the tone of the point, just trying to stop the clock. Gravity there with the good shots at range. Keeping the play alive. This is not over yet for Paris. 30 seconds.
Well, still down to 3. Boom. There's number 2. 2 front facing. And I mean, Paris, you're only down to 2 lives at this point. You'd rather die than give up the ticks. And Gravity should do just that in short order. Kismet looking for the kill. And I mean, good news for Paris. You didn't give up the extra ticks on B. Bad news, you're down 2-0 and you just gave up a round on offense. Things are not looking good.
And there is a definite wave of frustration across the Paris Legion players. They know this is it. I mean, Temp's hands in the air right now. He definitely cares. This is going to be a hard one. Subliners, it's the opposite. They know, laughing. They are laughing their way to that $10,000 bounty, laughing their way to the CDL points. They have come out of the prime swinging. This is it. Last one.
That's truly like a ranked play round as well, where you're on defense, you're down
brother.
on lives. It's so easy to defend. You just got to slow the pace down and just not burn them. But I mean, hey, your SMG duo, 11 and 30 combined. They're certainly not afraid of dying, but they're not getting the kills while they're doing it.
One on the outside of the boat, take care of John. As for now, Paris Legion, last chance here in the series. Let's go for a quick listen in. Parry.
Paul, low cliff.
Low cliff. Low cliff dead.
One
Missing
middle,
another one
one
top
middle,
boat. There's gonna be another one top boat.
I'm trying to pick
Yeah,
up.
one could be Lamar with DK.
He's in A.
He's on me on the steps.
Kismet.
Kismet.
Mid tank.
They're safe in mid tank. You went
Yo,
down in mid tank.
yo, what's pitching?
I want
He's
this still on me.
top cliff.
Kismet's on me. Top cliff chasing me. And Tetris.
On in here.
Hey, top boat. Top boat. Jump off.
Top cliff on that.
Land bridge dead.
Nice.
I'm mid. One's pitching. Got him.
Nice,
That's
we got
him.
2. Yeah, one's middle.
Middle again. Hydra. You push out. Mid. Mid tank Hydra.
Missing
Nice.
one, missing
Missing
one.
Paul. Could be ring. He should be ring.
Low P5 on me. Kismet hurt. Low P5.
Paul weak.
Yeah, Paul's ring.
Lamar. Yo, we need to come in.
No, we're at B. If y'all can shift, y'all have
Is he
to
ring on me?
Yeah, Paul.
No,
Paul, he's Lamar. He's one shot Lamar. He's not moving.
Get pushed low cliff.
I don't want to He's on our fire tank. Fire tank Kismet really hurt.
Paul is behind us.
Nice.
Top ring.
One shot,
Top
Hydra
ring,
probably top boat.
Did you?
Okay, no, he's top ring.
Pinch,
Trying to
now,
get on
fire
point.
tank, one
Balls
shot.
our fire tank.
He's
I'm
fire
making it.
tank, gonna kill me. Still
Yeah,
fire
hit
tank.
our fire tank.
Fire tank, dead.
Nice.
Hydra's gonna full pinch.
Gotta get on point.
He's that's one on me, one shot.
And the clock ticking fast now for Paris Legion. Straight on the point you go with 12 seconds remaining. A zone is going to be the site of attack. You heard John call it, guys. We need to hit A. There was a bit of discourse, a little bit back and forth. But chance, here we go. This has to be magic from Paris.
Yeah, I mean, magic and then some. I mean, I am many things, but not surprised that Paris was just not on the same page. You know, different ideas conflicting at the same time. And with 2 players in the feed falling, I'm expecting the trades to come in short order. There you go. Gravity falls. Only 8 seconds left on the clock. And right now, you have coverage all over the map to take these players down. Now down to your final 5 seconds. This will be a hot 3-0 on the exact same maps that they ran at the Pro-Am. The only team that made improvements was the Subliners.
And I tell you what, it looks like the desk are more up and excited about the victory than New York are. It was strictly business for NYSL, but there's cash money flowing everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Bounty week continues, and a very decisive 3-0 there from the New York Subliners. My God, they absolutely smoked them. A brutal display, as Paris certainly left wanting after that one. You called it, Chance, the same maps, the same modes, the same outcome. Paris, simply not enough work done in the lab, or maybe just too strong out the New York Subliners. Time will tell, but NYSL, they're going to be happy with that one. Everyone quit. Raging all over the place. Raging tears of joy, raging tears of I mean, good Lord.
Maybe Paulehx is raging off because that was just, 30 minutes out of his day that he could have spent, I don't know, scrimming somebody else. But whatever case may be, I mean, again, the exact same 3 maps. New York bumped up their lead on Bocage by an extra 20 or 30 points. I mean, it was around 11 the last time these guys played Berlin S&D. Subliners turned that into a smoke show, and same thing on Gabutu. It was defense heavy last go around, and for Subliners, the defense is same thing. Body slammed them, and hey, even got the offensive win that they needed. Picked them apart in the slaying category, and I'd say everybody putting in the work right there. And I don't know, there's literally nothing else to say, Miles. That was as easy as a series gets.
Well, the New York Subliners truly respecting the fact that we were slightly behind schedule, and they hit the go button, man. They were flying, and this was a really decisive victory on Gabutu as well. Not an easy thing to do, go a clean 3-0, but Paris picked apart round by round. Very similar to what we saw in the Search and Destroy. The New York Subliners are looking more well-refined and more organized than I think we may have ever seen them. So this is a good look for the squad. Now, if they can translate a performance like this against a much higher team, because again, you're playing the team at the very bottom of the standings, you may be the 11th team in the form of the Subliners. Those are points they sorely, sorely need. Again, their campaign towards champs, that is truly the main mission here. They are not guaranteed a spot at our finals later on this year. We'll see if they can get that one done, as there it is. It's an big finish. 3-0, 146, 6-1, 3-0. New York Subliners, they were not playing games today, friends. It was a strictly business. GG's all around though, Chance. I mean, damn, they smoked them.
Yeah, and I think they had to as well, right? Because still down on the CDL points, as you said. I think there's a 3-way tie at 80 points in 8th place at the moment. And Subliners are only 20 points down now. So they got a couple of series left where, honestly, I think they're in a pretty good spot to maybe close that gap just in the qualifying stages, let alone the fact that come tournament time, who knows how good they're going to be.
Exactly. Who knows? A win at a major changes everything, man. You will see them points come through. But for now, Desk, what an absolute smoke show that was. I'm serious. You guys were way more pumped than you were about the win.
Oh, they spanked them, man.
That was horrible.
By the way, Paris has an absolute problem when it comes to their SMG players. Jimbo with 7 kills. I have more fingers on 2 hands. And then John dropping a donut and search and destroy. I can mess around and get a kill.
Bro, you ever seen that meme on Twitter? Like, fight back, bro. Like, fight back. They're literally not. Like
this
team,
is actually an issue.
It must be so bad in practice. The practice must be absolutely terrible. I mean, even in that search and destroy, like, we saw the key to victory. It was like they don't have success when they're trying to go to A. So they just got blind counter going to B the very first round. That set the tone for the rest of the map. You got players like John underperforming in that search and destroy. Jimbo in that control. But it's not just their fault. Like, this team is just collapsing. And there's players and challengers that are good, that are playing great.
Yes.
I think Clayster's down in challengers, like, try to do something like Paris management. They have to go out there and try to make some moves because this roster is not working. We see all these other teams, sorry, I'm ranting. We see all these other teams making changes, picking up players. Minnesota Røkkr making moves. You see New York, they were down worse. New York was down worse than Paris was, and now they're like a contending roster. Paris has to do something. That was, I mean, it's not fun to watch.
But it up, bro, on God.
Blow it up. Yo, George Bush. Listen, that was absolutely bad. But hey, shout out to NYSL looking strong again. And speaking of which, we have an interview with Kismet, the Gamefield Post-Victory Spotlight. Let's get the man on the screen. Kismet, big dub, big win. You got $10,000 in your pocket, man. My question to you is, and I've asked everyone this, by the way, what do you plan to do with your share of the Bounty Week 10K for winning that matchup?
Honestly, man, like, save it, bro. I got to keep the wealth going up, maybe invest at some point, yeah, it's profit, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
Nothing crazy, though, maybe some food, rent, all that jazz.
Love it.
Love that, because I mean, that was just a blowout. I mean, it looked like y'all hopped in the ring, play, had a good time. It was like 30 minutes long. What are your plans for us today, dude? You just won 10K off a match. Like, what's going on?
I think we might go for like a team dinner, just hang out, vibe.
Fire.
I mean, being the first match, it was a quick one, so it feels good to get the dub. And obviously, like the 10K, the points, everything, vibes are good.
All right, I got two questions for you. First one's a little bit more of a serious one. You guys have just been playing great in all game modes, right? And that's got to make it a little bit hard to determine like what you need to work on to get to that next level and win the championship coming up in Toronto. So for you guys, what have you been leaning into most in terms of game modes of what you're working on?
Mainly S&D, I think right now is like our biggest one, because I think our respawn's pretty talented. Like, it's where it needs to be right now. We're doing really good at winning map 1 and whatnot. Our biggest thing in the Pro-Am that we were winning was we got the map 1, but we also went up 2-0 at like almost every series. So making sure that we guarantee that S&D every time, I think will catapult us into like that top tier list of teams.
Also, Kismet, I gotta ask, man, like you've worked hard for your prize money earnings throughout college.
All right.
Is this the easiest $10,000
all right. Truthfully, yeah, it might have been the freest 10,000 of my life. Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Hey, yo, Kismet,
It was a quick
congrats
one.
on the big
It was
win.
30 minutes.
Exactly. Hey, Kismet, congrats on the big win. By the way, I never got to say it to you, man. You've been, game-changing ever since joining this lineup, man. I love that for you, man. I wish the luck continues on, all right?
I appreciate it, man. It's been a good environment to come into, and I'm proud to make New York happy.
All right, man. You have a good day, all right?
Yeah, you guys too. Appreciate it.
All right, take it easy. All right, so let's talk about the Scump play of the game where New York Subliners just got $10,000 richer by destroying Paris Legion, and they did it in such a good way.
I mean, it was a clinical search and destroy. They won in a 6-1 fashion. It just literally looked like Paris just wasn't ready for what New York was doing on the map. I mean, they've made it look fairly easy, to be honest. Like, Hydra's snipes were just on freaking point this entire time. We all saw that jiggle peek on Warehouse, man. The fact that nobody was able to body block or take him out, the amount of times that he peeked that was literally insane, because he misses that first shot, he repeeks, misses the second, he repeeks, he gets taken down, but the shot ends up connecting. Like, you just cannot let that happen.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I said control. I meant search and destroy, by the way, if I did. But yeah, that was really big. Hydra was going all sniping on that map. Remember the map where I'm in the round where he missed 3 snipes on the bomb carrier?
That was the Warehouse one, yeah, the 20 top Warehouse who just kept jiggle peeking. It's like, I get it, people are too scared to body block a sniper because then you're just signing yourself up for a feed. But like, still, you gotta do something. Like, you can't just keep letting him repeat that and keep getting the opportunity to get the guy off the bomb with the clock ticking down like that.
Yeah, so Bounty Week is pretty much over for Paris Legion, but hopefully they have a Bounty Week with the team to see on what fit is best for them so they can continue to win more games. But also, Major 3 is right around the corner, and time is flying by right now. Make sure you get your tickets, because whether it's the CDL main stage or you're there for the challenger side, it's going to be so much fun.
Absolutely. I can't wait to get there. I mean, Ali said it when we got in the green room today. It's like, yo, we have like 10 days till we fly out to Toronto. I've never been there. I'm super excited. Every single major we've had so far, the crowd has just been absolutely electric, and I'm expecting the Toronto fans to come out in full force. And also, there's going to be the Passion Pit once again, the challenger scene. That's going to be epic, man.
All right. Can we see, Scrappy and the boys get loose once again? Shout out to Mohawk. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for the first series of the day. Coming up next, we have some more Bounty Week game, the last one of the day. But once again, I want to give a lot of love to the New York Subliners for tearing it up absolutely against the Paris Legion. But coming up next, we have a full day of Call of Duty League matches, and I can't wait to catch you guys on the other side. We'll see you there.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Mountain Dew. The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Zenni. Armor your eyes with Block's gaming glasses starting at $24 by visiting zenni.com/CDL.
Either way, accuracy! 10 seconds, he gotta go, he's gotta fly! Would he get the kill? No, accuracy stays alive! Players off the point, Mack staying alive as long as he can! What a beautiful flank this could be! The second, oh god, the round's gone!
They are. Brent has an opportunity. There's the first. There's the second. Turns on.
And still, if fire works out, do you get any more? Yeah, down, it's 5. The Young Guns in round 11, and they go back to the corner in time, and you got it well! That's it! Take it down!
Been a little too nice to y'all. Now I gotta up price on y'all. Snake eyes on dice for y'all. Shoulders on ice for y'all. A6 all the hay. I won't get involved today. Got lost in the ball and eggs. I'm flipping the bars. I'm flipping the.
Octane.
That's what we wanted! That's what I'm talking about! He don't miss!
Off record deals. Tell him talk to Colin for the quote. Off record eyes. Still want to act, not the ghost. For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, all of you beautiful people, welcome back to the CDL. And right here on the analyst desk, we got another Bounty Week matchup between Seattle and the Los Angeles Thieves. My name is Velly, that's Ali, and also Nameless at the end right there. But this matchup is going to be, it should be a really good one, by the way, for the simple fact that Seattle Surge, we know what they can bring on a good day, but LA Thieves as well, right, Ali?
Should be a good matchup, Velly. That is the giant headline on this, is it should be. But both of these teams are just doing wishy-washy things, right? Seattle will have a terrible series and then beat teams like OpTic and FaZe. LA Thieves will have a terrible series and then suddenly they look like the team that we're used to. We just don't know what we're going to get.
But I like LA's chances for the simple fact that the ARs on this team are going to go against Seattle, who struggle.
Yeah, absolutely. But I really think it's the subs on LA Thieves that we have to look at. In the last showing that they had, both them on map 1 were double negative, right? Like, we need Envoy and Kenny to both play well for this team to be a contender. That's when they started to have success, was the last 2 days, and both of them were popping off. That's how they had that run. But Ali, what are the keys to victory for the Los Angeles Thieves?
Well, they need to stay hot on form with Berlin Hardpoint. They're on a 3-game Berlin Hardpoint win streak with 70+ point wins over Texas, NYSL, and London. Those are some really hot teams right now. Okay. That is going to be our game 4 in Battle of Break Kings on Tuscan Hardpoint. Thieves are first in break percentage overall. That's 38% of the time, but Seattle's close behind second with 33 overall. And find improvements on Berlin S&D. 11th in round win percentage on Berlin, 38% overall. S&D has been Thieves' woe since the beginning of the season, and they still have not found their footing.
Well, take a look at that first point right there. 3-game Berlin win streak on the hard point against those teams. That's phenomenal. I'm loving what we're seeing with the LA Thieves so far. And even though they got 3-0'd by the Minnesota Røkkr, I'm not going to really harp on them too much, right? For the simple fact that Minnesota Røkkr have been looking really good lately. But another team that I hope starts looking good soon, actually right now, is going to be Seattle, okay? I'm tired of talking about them. I'm tired of the L's. I'm tired of talking about all the potential. When are we going to see this team really be who we want them to be?
Oh, it's not even about who we want them to be. It's about who we know they can be and what they can do, and the fact that they are technically such a good team with their main AR having the stat lines that we have seen out of accuracy. It is probably one of the most frustrating and confusing teams in the league. It's all about if your main AR finds consistency. Seattle Surge would be a dominant team. They'd be top 4, they'd be top 3, but it is in the halfway of the season, and we still have seen nothing of the likes.
Yeah, for the game field keys to victory, Seattle Surge, they need to find a hardpoint groove. 2-8 in the last 10 hardpoints. Only 2 wins are versus Paris. So that's tough because they're going up against a tough hardpoint team on 2 of this tough hardpoint team's best maps. So I really think the success in this series will come with the search and destroys for Seattle Surge, and also bring recent form on Berlin Control to this series. They're 6-1 round count in their last 2 games on it. Thieves are 3-1 on Berlin Control, but Thieves are coming off of a loss to Minnesota Røkkr in that map there. So definitely do your due diligence headed into this series. You take that map 2 searches, you can get a dub. Then improve your offenses on Desert Siege, winning only 29% of offenses on Siege, 11th in the CDL. So got to fix that up, pull out a sniper, try to get some picks. We know how Desert Siege works on offense. You can quick plant or get picks. Either way, make it work.
Oh, big time. When it comes to the Seattle Surge, I really hope to see Accuracy step up big time, right? Okay, he's going against the likes of Octane. You're going to have Envoy on the map. This isn't going to be an easy battle at all. And when it comes to pick'ems, because I even have to bring up that point, I have to rock with LA. Yeah, I'm a Cali boy and all, and I have my words I got to say about the LA Thieves, but I really like what they've shown this stage so far. And hey, I think Kenny and the rest of the boys are going to be all right in this specific matchup, hopefully, right? Allie, who you got your money on?
I'm going with Seattle. I think 3/4 of the team will be able to handle LA Thieves as they are all positive overall.
All right, and
yeah, man, I did my pickups early this morning. I picked Seattle to win this series. I just have a feeling that they're going to come here and take it in 3-2 fashion. Game 5.
Hopefully they can prove you guys right, and hopefully they can, hey, kind of shift me back on their side again. Let's send this over to Bryson Ted. Fellas, how you doing today? And you guys should have a really good match right here.
Thank you very much. Yes, an awful lot on the line for this one. Of course, it's a bounty game. But I harped up on about this yesterday, and I feel like people aren't really getting it. The points really do matter at this stage of the season. Both of these teams are on 80 points. The difference between qualifying for champs and not qualifying for 6 teams is 10 points, right? If we were going to champs tomorrow, this could determine the game, and it's going to come down to something that close towards the end. Every single game matters from this point out. Now, Seattle Surge have been a little bit hit or miss recently. I've actually been feeling the Thieves a little bit more, Tongue.
Yeah, I mean, I'd argue both teams have been pretty much hit and miss recently, haven't they? It hasn't been a consistent season for either one of them. A lot of people talked about Seattle being the best team in the game at one stage. When we did obviously open up the season, things have went very, very differently since then. For the LA Thieves, it's been up and down and up and down. It's the roller coaster that will never stop for this squad. But can they get a decently sized scalp in this game? I'm leaning Thieves as well on this one. They went towards myself on the pick'ems. I just think that the hard points of the control is going to be maybe a little bit much. I think if it goes to a map number 5, they'll be in trouble, but I think they can maybe close it in 4.
At the moment, here comes the traditional stack. They're looking for this one as well, but a little bit of trouble actually coming in for the Thieves. But somehow they managed to get through, and where on earth was Seattle to try and shut this down?
Well, looking for the long-range shots. They're taking their time. They're just taking their time. We're easing in to Tuscan, of course, and so are the rest of Seattle Surge. Control is now there for them. Of course, Thieves do have control of the spawns heading over towards P2. But yeah, I'm very interested to see how both these two teams are going to do in this one, because they're both in need of a win, right? As you said, it is getting to that crunch time where you need to pick up those points, and it's a good job it's not champs tomorrow for both of these teams, and for a lot of the teams, to be honest with you. And also for me, I want more events before we get a champs pricey, if I'm honest with you. We've got 2 more.
Yeah, there's an awful lot of COD to break down, but speaking of breakdown at the moment, it does seem like LA are desperately trying to hold on to P2. Not a great P1 for them. Haven't really been able to get it going, but they are locked and loaded onto this point. Going to have to see if Octane can hold off the pressure.
That's okay. There's a decent amount of time over towards P1, but you got the rotation in for P2, but you need to make sure you win your gunfight. So far, it's kind of even. Accuracy, we'll find one towards the back with an MP40. He might get a nosebleed with that in his hands, but Simp towards the back. Can he find a second on it? Drazah? No, he can find a second himself. Well played from Drazah. There's Octane coming in on the flank as well. They're going to lock it down thanks to Drazah finding 2 back towards that side. Good start from the SMGs on the side of LA Thieves. Not necessarily the best start from Kenny, but they won't really care about that. 30 points on the board already. Rotation over towards P3. Fairly even start for both these two teams. There'll be a decent lead for Seattle, but on the side of LA Thieves, they should have this locked in on the rotation over towards Fan.
At the moment, they are going to be locked and loaded. 8 seconds, ready for Seattle to try and make their move. Can they find any ingress onto this map and try to get in a position where they can at least start contesting? Because realistically, Thieves are going to have about 15 seconds before they even get a Seattle player near that point. And right now, you can see Seattle Surge are stacking. They are trying to attack tiles with one player. It's going to be Sib attacking from the other side.
Yeah, Kenny's got nice time in here. 1 and 8. That should improve in just a moment's time. Wouldn't have minded him being here maybe just a little bit sooner. Can you stop Accuracy? Find anything? Not quite. Thought the timing was good from Kenny, but he's checking his corners. He didn't need to. Easy kill should be coming through here onto Accuracy. Drazah steals it away. Still just the 1. Make it the 2. Can't find the 3rd of the map. As Mack will shut him down. Kills have been traded. Which way they're going to go? Still tile spawn coming in from Surge, if only momentarily. Thieves from the front. Can't find the kills. Seattle Surge looking like they're at least going to stop the scrap time going over towards Thieves. They may not get it themselves, but it's a minor win for the side of Thieves. They'll close that gap ever so slightly on the way to church.
Yeah, it does seem like Thieves maybe just a little bit on the back foot in some of these bigger slaying battles that they need to win.
Yeah.
But you are right, it is still early doors here on Tuscan, and now both teams just going to be playing around Church. Octane going to be looking to lock down this field. Accuracy, we can see he's going against him, and he does get it. That kind of shuts it down and allows his teammates to play the back and the front of Church. It's a little bit easier.
It's a big gunfight. Yep, Sib's going to get spotted. Drazah aware of his surroundings. Mack, though, himself very aware of what's going on here. Octane and Drazah, though, combining well as a complete wipe initially for the side of the LA Thieves, and this is their first decent chunk of time. They've kind of been sort of scrimping and scraping them together so far. Mack, though, good grenade. Not going to deal with Envoy, though. Very well played. Good hold from Thieves here. 25 seconds to play with as well.
It has, and they're about to run into Octane again as he just tries to get something through, but those nades will eventually take him down. Kenny, the last player here, standing to try and be able to get it through. You see Drazah comes in to help out. Kenny looking for Pred, who knows has to be there somewhere close. A lot has been spoken about recently with Kenny. Obviously, franchise player for the Thieves. They've had him on the entire time. And a role change may have affected him a little bit because he has had a bit of a slow start.
It's been an up and down, yeah, for him, hasn't it, really? I mean, the AR side of things, it has been working for him, but I mean, an SMG in his hands, maybe not. But in Mack's, absolutely devastating. 15 and 10 from him, and that's going to completely shut down the push that comes in from Thieves, who are notoriously pretty good when it comes towards P5. Can't be very good if you're just going to get wiped out by one man, and that man is Mack. Keeping it up here over towards Radio as well. Will get taken down. Good kills coming in from Octane. Maybe the break here for the side of Thieves, but the damage may already have been done. His accuracy eventually does fall. Thieves will get in, but Mack, a phenomenal turnaround there, manages to keep Thieves out of it for quite some time.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Thieves are known for holding P5. Their break does come in a little bit slow, but it will be very, very even as we go back to the rotations for this one. The difference being this time, of course, is that Seattle do have a setup locked in and ready. It's going to be a hard force for Thieves. You can see they're starting to get through mid-map.
Next couple kills, super crucial. You can see the two-pronged attack coming in here for the side of the LA Thieves. Need to win that one towards block, though. Simp stayed alive, and that's such an issue. Kenny doesn't see him. Simp plays his life, and maybe a bit of bad timing. That'll be what keeps Seattle Surge in control of P1. They've got Thieves where they want them as well. Not much min-back control. You'd love to see Accuracy try to lock that down from top Church as he comes in off the respawn, so an important job for him to do. He'll find Drazah from there. Kenny has slipped them only momentarily. Will find the kill. The rest of the team now. P2 spawns are there for the side of LA Thieves. Seattle Surge maybe overstepped just a little bit.
See, they're both teams are just going to try and sit here, and Envoy's going to try and win this gunfight as well, and he does. Just trying to keep this a little bit competitive as they both just butt heads over and over again on this P1 hard point. And Kenny now desperately trying to stay alive as he knows he's outnumbered. That rotation is already locked in for the Thieves, so a big job here could certainly rock Seattle Surge back on their feet. Not going to happen. Pred's going to be up top Radio. Going to find Octane, and he takes the shot a little bit too early, and now he's in trouble, surely. Octane just guns him down, says, thank you for letting me know where you are, bud.
Yeah, this is a long rotation for Seattle Surge as well. They're really taking their time, checking their corners. Kenny's the one ready here and waiting. He will not find anything. Draws it over towards the Archer's side. A good position for him to be in. Eventually will fall. It's only Envoy left. Envoy finds the kill. And looking like a lockdown here for the side of the LA Thieves. Hard for Surge to make this push over towards the back. They've got a little bit of control towards the back alley, though. Maybe a push for this final 25 is on the cards.
Yeah, they're unable to shut down Simp at all, and that has just completely and totally rolled over the Thieves. Seattle Surge barely even broke a sweat breaking that one. The only benefit for the Thieves is the early rotation, but I don't know if they can hold it. You can already see Surge looking to get into this one and punish them. They have players here in abundance. Pred's gonna find one towards mid. Man, no! You can't be doing that when you're on the cusp of a break.
Can't happen. Cannot happen. Seattle Surge were in a position to potentially do something there. They still have the lead, but Thieves very much on the come up. I wonder if the comms are calm on the side of Seattle Surge. Let's go for a listening.
Lower's useless.
I need a square.
On time, kill time.
He's really weak, really weak.
On my content.
Square,
Next square.
He's weak, so I needed.
I needed.
I got two. Nice square, one shot, hit him with an 8.
I'm trying to
Tell me talk, stunned.
I need it over. I'm trying.
I don't see the guy square.
He backed up, maybe.
Back right corner.
I hit him again.
Back corner weak. And time,
one shot, one shot. Need it. I got it. Back wall.
I need it over here.
I can stay down. Back wall.
Back wall.
Nice. Time.
What could be top?
I'm staying down.
I got needed.
Back wall.
You can be top.
I'm trying.
Back wall on me, got me. He's laying down the wall.
Two back wall. I'm holding windows crash right now. I just got the plat.
I'm backing up.
I don't see anything P1. Nothing P1.
Go top. I'll watch front door.
At the P1.
One mid alley.
Out front door. P1 Envoy. P1 dead.
Nice. I'm getting top again.
Okay. One shot, Acon. Icon shot, you shot.
Front door, one shot.
To the Drazah and Kenny, front door somewhere. I'm giving you 5.
Good. Sam.
Last guy's
broken. He's still broken.
I have your top. Big
kill here.
Yeah, I have P1.
Be down, went P5. That could be hitting the bottom. I'm looking for P5 right now.
I have front door.
Sam could run up like close front door. I'm holding the ramp and shit.
Top broken.
Well, I'll tell you something. It's been a bit of a game for Seattle there. Their comms really have put Los Angeles Thieves on the back foot, and even a last resurgence into church actually say that, and they managed to just flip this around ton.
Oh, goodness me. What is that with a pistol from Mack? Accurate. Isn't going to be able to find the second on the Octane, but that might have just shut down some of the pressure that Thieves were bringing in. It was really good comms from the side of Surge. We said it whilst we were listening to the listening that you could hear that they were calling to the front. Pred will find it, move forward. Communication is there from the squad.
It's time for the famous Thieves P5. They have it on second rotation. We've seen them hold this like one of the greatest teams in the game. It has been their speciality, and they need it now more than ever. Here comes Seattle Surge, though, and they're looking to win these gunfights. They're piling in. Kenny does get one as well. Eventually going to go down, and Thieves were there in numbers, and they have not held this against Seattle, as they've just been blown off the map completely.
Mack pushes through, and he's just still going as well. Kenny can't do much from there. 10 seconds away for the side of Seattle Surge. If you're LA Thieves, you have to go quickly. Pred's the one you've got to get through, and then you've got to run fast. He will find one. The trade is not going to be there, though. Kenny will find it on the Pred. The nade comes through from Mack. The nade's in from accuracy. The artillery finds the spot, and Seattle Surge will take map number 1. It felt like that game most of the way through. Thieves started to wake up, but wake up just a little bit too late. And Mack just had a game there, didn't he? My goodness.
I've got a bit to say about that game, actually. There is some serious issues in LA Thieves, if we're being perfectly honest. The entire reason that game was close was through some very, very clutch kills, mostly on the side of Drazah. He was actually making some very important kills that allowed him to get a significant amount of time. The problem is the slaying was so one-sided, it made it irrelevant. Like, it just couldn't win enough gunfights. Obviously, Drazah had a good game himself, but the rest of his team were just not able to capitalize where they should have done. If the slaying was more even and Drazah had made those same influential kills, this would have been a very different story. But if you haven't got the gunny, you're not getting the money.
Yeah, you can't have Kenny and Envoy dropping almost a -20 between them. You can't do it. You need to find those influential kills at times, don't you, as you said. And yeah, Drazah was doing a fairly good job, but Seattle Surge just combined it well. Mack found those kills at the right times, didn't he? Yes, okay, the stat line was great, but in hindsight, a lot of those kills were in huge moments, specifically over towards P5, and this is massive. He only literally has accuracy for support there. He's got nothing else and wipes out 3 of them. That's immediately a break for Thieves, and at the point where it was, that's a decent amount of time. You never know what happens from there. And again, just big kills when they need them. A couple of good ones were from Pred when he jumped out of top church and found 2 below him. It just shuts down the push every single time. It felt like the Thieves were a little bit staggered in their push, which I don't hate, but just doesn't work out for them. LA Thieves, I'll probably be quite disappointed with that one. It felt sloppy. Just a little bit of an average start from them, to be honest with you. This was the moment from Pred. Finds them 2 there.
Happened, by the way.
Well, to be fair, I think one of them was weak. In all fairness to Kenny, I believe he was actually weak already from having to back going down from that challenge over towards P1. But immediately, that's another, 10, 15 seconds, maybe even 20, uncontested for Surge. I would argue for myself, I just enjoyed the performance out of Surge more than hated it from Thieves. Yes, okay, Thieves not the best slaying side of things, but Surge and Mack in particular, alongside Pred, having a game there, Brycey.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, it was just a weird map for me. All right, like I'm just slightly confused because the slaying was so far in favor of Seattle Surge that realistically, for the majority of that game, I kept looking back at the scoreboard and being surprised. I was like, oh, it's actually a pretty close game. How is this happening over and over and over again? They kept splitting hills back and forth, scrap time here, a little bit of a rotation there. LA Thieves, it feels like if they could just find that extra gear. The problem is that we've very rarely seen that extra gear to even know if it exists. Right? Like, yeah. Don't get me wrong, very talented team, but their consistency levels towards the higher end have been subpar for the majority of the year. They seem to have this issue where they can look like a very good team and they can turn it on, but that isn't their cruising speed. Their cruising speed is below that, and the problem being is, how do you find a little bit better? Like, how do you make this team, after, you know, we spoke about the roster change potential, the role change they've gone through. Well, we're already pretty deep into the season. At the moment, I don't think anybody has Thieves as a team for a potential of winning any sort of championship. But that's what they want.
Yeah.
And I have no idea how they go about fixing it.
They're trying, though, and that's the thing. They're trying different things out, and it just does not seem to be working. I mean, a lot of people were curious on a potential roster change. Thieves chose not to do that. There was obviously the rumors that went round, and well, I mean, it's getting to that stage in the season where it's the business end, and you need to be making waves. A lot of people will, of course, not really remember exactly what goes on at the beginning of the season, will they? A lot of people determine how good the year goes based off the final couple of events, and whether or not you take that as the wrong thing to do or not. That's the ultimate top and bottom of it. You think about how teams did at champs, you think about the penultimate event before that as well. That's what happens the majority of years, and right now Seattle Surge maybe are on the come up themselves. Let's not forget, like, for all that we'll complain about Thieves inconsistency, Surges have been there in abundance as well, but in that map specifically, a good series out of Mack is what they could potentially need, and they've got one map to kick it off from him. A really good performance there on the SMG front, but Thieves, yeah, felt a bit slow, a little bit labored, couldn't quite get things going. But can things happen maybe here on Search and Destroy and Desert Siege? I'm not too sure. I honestly had that, not necessarily as a banker for Thieves, but it's one that I need to see them win. They can't find it. Now they're staring down the barrel of, well, even if you win the other two respawns, you're going to have to at least play another S&D. And I don't think this one in particular, map number 2, is going to go well for them either.
Well, let's find out, because Thieves have surprised us before. It's a team that, if I'm being honest, I feel like we've seen reverse sweep more than most and managed to get back into it. But it is an uphill battle now, of course, and Seattle Surge will be looking to lock this one down completely. We'll have to find out how it plays out, though. Obviously, a lot of series left to go before we count anyone out.
Very intrigued to see how this does break down. Quite contrasting stats in certain different areas, not necessarily between the teams, but one team really good at attacking, one not necessarily looking great on the defensive side. Let's see how it is going to break here, though. Thieves aggressive over towards B. Surge have given up a lot of this map, by the way, and it might actually work out in their favor. Drazah kind of stuck in no man's land here. How is he this far up? What am I seeing? What is going on? How has he got here?
We say slip the net a lot, but look at the way that the Surge are just all across the map and haven't managed to plug this gap as well as Drazah. He had a great time in the hard point. He's continuing it in the S&D, and Thieves win the first round. You are right, Ton, to question that. How on earth?
Drazah, bro, I don't know. Like,
through.
How? Honestly, Surge, I'll be watching. I'm like, bro, how is he there?
The worst part of that is, right, is that maybe if Seattle Surge were toward one or the other bomb site, you could say, yeah, he could probably flank around. But he just haven't managed to walk through the entirety of Seattle, who are out looking for a pick.
Yeah, because Seattle just give up so much of the map presence because they were just waiting for Thieves to get aggressive. And Drazah, he was so close to being in a bad spot, and all of a sudden, you slip through the middle of two players and you got an easy round. Well played from Drazah. Big hit looking like it's going to come in over towards B here. Seattle Surge maybe going to go for this retake, but this bomb is going to go down irrelevant. Kenny weak. Is the challenge going to come? It is not. Still 4v4.
Actually take down Drazah with a grenade, though. Kenny is playing close. Looking for Mack, outgunned. Octane to save the day with Envoy. It's a 2 versus 4. He's found Mack for the first. Is his teammate going to be able to back him up here? Because he's about to be challenged, and Octane gets taken down as well. And so does his teammate. And they get 1 out of the 2 versus 4, and that'll be defused.
Kenny really just, it's almost like bait there. I mean, not much you can do. Drazah slides around, and it's just such an open position. And if you do not react in time, well, based off map number 1, the reaction's maybe not quite there yet for Kenny. Mack's always going to have his way with you. Really good retake here by the Seattle Surge. The normal setup, mostly there for the Thieves. never really give themselves a chance to flank around. A couple of players dropping fairly early after that bomb goes doin. Means you just kind of have to sit tight. Thieves can't expand, can't experiment with that plan. And all of a sudden, it's 1-1, and I don't think Drazah is going to get away with what he did last round. He has pushed up.
Kenny, though, gets the first blood, but it answers back with a grenade straight away. Kenny's looking for Mack, and it's a bit of a wide peek as he gets taken down. Mack will now have this plant. You can see Octane will be trying to peek this from a difficult angle. Probably hoping Envoy can get into a position, and Octane almost catches it in the nose.
Do not challenge Mack right now. Man is beaming. He's not going to win that gunfight, though. Envoy does really, really well, and staying alive here is crucial. Just be a pain as you allow your teammate to maybe get up in a position to help you out. Guns accuracy, Sib maybe next on the chopping block, but the snipe comes through. Octane. Will Sib know he's close? Snipes back out again, watching the angles. Octane goes to the challenge, swaps to the MP40, and the snap is there from Sib. Fantastic from the Surge. And no reaction out of Sib even after that. The snap. My goodness.
Beautiful little 1v2. And we can see this. Envoy just runs straight into the quick scope. They thought they had that. Envoy was looking slick on the map, but unfortunately, Octane has to hunt him down, and in the air, you get gunned.
Unfortunate from Thieves there, you know, Envoy does everything right. You can't really account for the fact that you're about to get quick sniped, especially you hear the snipe popping off, you can hear it. You're going to challenge him with an MP40 every day of the week. Sib hits the shots up, but same strat here from Thieves. Bomb's gone down.
Kenny maybe use that bomb as cover this time. Actually has backed down, and Drazah opens it up, and now Seattle Surge have got to try and find a way against a much better setup from LA Thieves. It is not going to be easy for them to break this as kills go down on both sides. Mack trying to do a little bit of acrobatics, finding Octane towards the back. Does eventually get it, looking for Kenny.
Oh my God!
No, Kenny! Oh my goodness! Thieves were set up. They had the first blood, and they've just been ruined.
Brother. You can't let that happen. You can't let that happen. I mean, I'd like to see it from his point of view because Mack was kind of dipping and diving, wasn't he? But let's see. Right, shots. Yeah, he's in between it, and oh, I mean, he's absolutely ate him alive.
Well, and on things you don't want to see. Seattle Surge currently leading 3-1. And now they'll be looking to try and convert here. Now they've got a bomb, but Sim opens up with another sniper. Looking for the second. Not going to get it. Bullet whizzing past his hip. Never mind. Gave him another chance. Drazah goes down. Any more for Sib? Anyone else want to have a go?
I feel like I'm watching one of those old pro mod montages. This man's insane. Octane will answer back here. It is a 1 versus 3 for him to complete. There's one of them. Of the 3 gone. Sib and accuracy. The next 2 victims, potentially. Thieves need this. Thieves ain't going to get it. Surely he's been spotted. Sipped up with the sniper that time. Not going to help him out. Octane surely going to challenge. Goes to the kill and accuracy. One away from the 1v3. Could be huge. Sib finds it, though. Fantastic work. Eventually, we'll find the kill. It was a little bit scary for a moment, but the challenge comes in. And the trade is there from Seattle Surge. Another round goes their way.
There we are. Replays of Sib. So influential that round. Got 3 out of the 4. Octane just didn't know what hit him. He was on for the 1 versus 3 as well. Did a really good job for it. Unfortunately, Sib just hunted him down before he could get resituated. And now Seattle Surge are running through the Thieves. It's 4-1 currently. Thieves need a way back into this game.
What is the route back in for them? The B plants, they've got them down. They found themselves in those positions. But they haven't been able to make it work. Ultimately, the setup on the last one was pretty good. But, I mean, if Kenny's being absolutely 360'd, I mean, it's... choke it at that stage. I mean, in one of those situations, what else can you do? Sib still lining them up.
Just go to the other bomb site. Just go to the other bomb site.
Stay away.
Leave this. Actually gets Envoy as well, and now in a 2 versus 4, Kenny and Octane. This is a bad situation for them. As you can tell, they don't really have anywhere to go. They don't have bomb. They need to find a pick or two to bring this back to a realistic proposition. And Simp is there. Almost gets guns. Kenny gonna go try to go around the back here. Octane playing his life in Paulehx.
Gotta go. Gotta go. Just don't have the time here. Kenny will find one at the Sib. You don't have the bomb, and I mean, okay. I respect the aerobatics, but it's not gonna work. I mean, can somebody on Thieves just not get turned on?
360 from Octane in the air, and then from his gun. I don't know whether it was just his joystick was doing 360s, because realistically, he did a little pirouette for us, checking every angle, and then shot windmills.
Can I get a regain from the Thieves almost immediately here? Because that kind of thing is just like, yeah, it's funny, but is it? it's like those sort of things. I mean, okay, I don't know, Bryce. I would hate to see that as a member of the Thieves management team. I know it's a talk round in that situation, but yeah, it's been a very, very poor showing so far from the Thieves, and we've got players 360 and off walls in potential situations that could go your way. Very unlikely, but hey, you got to switch it on. You really do. Very, very quickly if you're the Thieves here. 1-0 down in the series, 5-1 down in the search and destroy.
And now both teams playing this a little bit patient. Thieves do not want to give away one more round, obviously. So Surge could put this to bed right here. Go 2-0 up in the series. Envoy though opens it up and gets the first blood. Drazah looking for the second, and not again. Does get traded by Envoy. Now they'll be looking to try and get this round down, but he gets gunned by accuracy. Number advantage has disappeared.
That's the play here from Surge. Have time on their side. And Pred did give them the advantage, but only momentarily. Octane now left in that 1 versus 1. That bomb was down as well. I don't really like to see Pred that far pushed away from his teammate. That bomb needs to be picked up. Octane knows exactly where it is. Accuracy should be dead to rights. Good play coming in from Octane. Finding the round for his team. But is the damage already done though, Bryce? That's the problem here.
Right. Just before we go any further with this narrative,
okay,
this would not be the first time that Thieves has surprised us. We know very well there is a little bit of ice in that vein. I will pay the caveat, the devil's advocate right now, and say it wouldn't be the first time we've seen the Thieves turn a game on its head. I don't know if they're going to do it in the S&D. They're already really far down in that pit, and they've just lost the first blood. Brought it back again, though. Octane gets another one.
Octane trying his best now to try and help the team get back into this. Picks up there, the shots from accuracy are as well written on the tin. Accurate. Pred gonna get caught with his pants down though. Envoy very, very aware. They will be pushing out those weak players, and this bomb is gonna go down at B again. Third time maybe the charm for Thieves here. So it's 2v3 for Seattle Search to try and pull off.
See Simp as well, and Envoy gets gunned. It's a 2 versus 2. A little bit spread out here. They're going to try and get the pressure down. Octane just takes one. Drazah's close. Octane to the back. They'll be called out. They're trying to coordinate as well, and Simp gets the first one. Octane's running for his life. He's running. He's continuing to just try and get out of here. He's going to be caught as well as Simp takes him down. LA Thieves bomb down. They have the numbers and still lose the round.
It's so nice of the teams to help us get back on schedule after our small technical delay to kick things off. Because right now we are speedrunning these series. Paris were the first to fall in mediocre instant, but Thieves are wanting to say, well, hold my beer. Let's see how poor of a show we can make this as well. Seattle Surge, a great performance though. But it has to be said, there's a couple of moments there you can't let happen if you're Thieves. I mean, Kenny, the turn on there will be the main one talked about. But I mean, there was nothing about Thieves' performance that gave me any hope they were going to win the map. You know, sometimes you'll see a nice, clean round, you think, oh, right, okay, yeah, maybe they've just been a bit unlucky. No, they were just rubbish, Pricey, to be honest with you.